Policy is permanent.
That's what I'm getting at. It's laying, unless we're doing that.
Hey, when
And I
did
thought-
you start doing so I can take you back to policy number 3, so trash will help you start planning council will be ready for December 25.
That's my favorite answer.
I know, that's a.
I do have one slide that's gonna be
So I volunteered. Yes, of course.
miss anything yesterday?
What?
Let's go.
It wasn't Let's Go. It's the 17th.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're good.
All right. I think it was a leadership meeting.
Oh, I wasn't there.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely one thing I want to get to Lexington County. Trying to push for Jermaine Johnson.
Of course.
Yeah. And I decided to use my experience with Jessica to help Jermaine. So
Good job.
yeah, I didn't go yesterday either because I was busy celebrating Veterans Day.
Yeah.
Free meal at Applebee's.
All right. We're gonna get this show on the road. Let me get up.
I'm gonna go right back. Pick it up so they make it live.
I'm on. Okay. Is this on? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Oh, you can hear me. Oh, good. Hello, everyone. Everyone.
All right, here we go.
Focus. I know you're writing postcards for Julie right now. I just wanted to get this show on the road. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our November 12th November meeting of the Young Democrats of the Central Midlands. If you don't already know me online or in person, I am Jeremy Jones. I am the chair of this illustrious organization. And there's nothing illustrious about it. It's awesome, actually. But still, it's illustrious. But yeah. I'm going to give my welcome. And then we're going to have, right now, a lot of us are in the room. We are making postcards for Julie Lumpkin, who's running for Columbia City Council District 4. Yay, let's give her applause. Yes. So we are doing that right now. So, I'm going to do my welcome, and then we're going to have Oddity Bustles, who's running for the City Council at Large position. She's going to come and speak. She's our keynote speaker tonight. She will have 7 to 10 minutes to discuss, to talk freely, and then a few questions at the end, and then we'll get into business while everybody's writing their postcards. So, welcome everyone. Again, like I said, it's great for everybody to be here and working for our for our city council candidates. I think that this is an awesome thing that we're doing. And I think that we're showing that Young Dems do the best work. You know, go Young Dems. Young gets it done, right? That's our motto. Young gets it done. So I have some important information that happened in our October executive committee meeting. I hope this is gonna come as not much of a shock but more of we need to do this thing. So our president was not at our executive committee meeting on October 28th. But everybody who could vote on the committee was there. And there were some things that came up in the within our executive committee, and we voted to suspend the bylaws, and she was removed as our president, effective immediately. Well, she had 24 to 48 hours to hand over everything. Right now, all that legality stuff with the president of our organization is being dealt with by Young Democrats of America right now. We have an interim president, Trayvon Johnson. Just wanted to make sure that everybody was aware of everything that's happening with our state iteration. Because I think it's important to keep everybody abreast about what's happening. And so, we have an interim president. November 22nd is when we have our next executive committee meeting for Young Democrats, and we will be electing, which is a part of our bylaws, a new president to serve the end of the term. And then if there's some other vacancies that come up, then we will be, trying to fill those vacancies as well in December. All right. But yeah, everything's good with us. Everything's been good. We've been rocking and rolling. We've had elections. Elections were eventful, but we made some gains in some places. Some races went to runoffs, and we are raring and ready to get involved, like we're doing tonight. And so with all further ado, I'm going to have Audrey come up and speak. So she has her son with her.
Yes,
Yeah. Yes. So.
Is it okay if I sit and talk so he doesn't have? Or are you filming in a way that I have to be up?
So we have it online. So he can come this. You can move him this way.
He's coloring.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
Okay.
Come on up.
Well,
Yeah, I'm in West.
What am I doing?
well, thank you all for having me. I really wanted this to be an opportunity. I think I've had a lot of really meaningful and impactful conversations with y'all one-on-one. And I think that there's a lot of great kind of conversations happening one-off. But you all really are the next generation and can really change the way politics work in South Carolina. You're kind of seeing it play out in real time. And so I'd love to answer questions that you have. I really don't have a speech tonight, except that the best thing you can do is come out and vote. And early voting has already started. November 18th is the big day. And if you didn't vote on the 4th, you're still eligible to vote on the 18th. So that is the key message. So I actually will open it up and ask y'all if you have any questions, and happy to answer them, more like town hall style.
So, how are you feeling given the recent developments that have been going on lately?
I feel good. I am focused on talking about my record and all the things that I have done over the last 4 years around historic investment and some of the work we've done with public health related projects around homelessness and food insecurity and Black Maternal Health Week. And so I think that voters need to understand exactly everything that we've been able to accomplish. And then I think talking to a lot of voters, it's really important that we focus the next 4 years on a couple of things I'm seeing. One is, of course, more units of affordable housing and expanding our housing first approach. That is something we already fund, but there's not nearly enough units to move people out of rapid shelter into housing first. So that's one thing I'd like to see. I've also had a lot of conversations with, different groups about safety in a climate that people don't feel safe, whether they're immigrants, whether they're part of the LGBTQ community, whether they're part of the trans community. I mean, I'm sure you can see some of the anxiety or understand or empathize some of the anxiety that I also feel with some of the kind of just anti-American sentiment that's been happening. And so I really want to think about ways in which the capital city can lead on creating safer environments and spaces for people, because I really like that we're one of the most diverse communities in South Carolina, and I want to keep it that way.
Well, in terms of the open spaces and all that, I know you know that Finley Park will be reopening pretty soon. We're pretty much on the cusp of that, and I know already heard that there's been some tagging incidents in the park already.
Yeah.
Given that we are on the cusp of this rebirth for Finley Park and the recent, I guess, situation or recent hoopla with the new bag policy.
Yeah. So a couple of things come to mind. My goal and my style in terms of communicating with constituents and the public has always been, I'm going to be very transparent of what I have been able to do and not be able to do. And so when I started to see a bunch of people say, oh my God, this clear bag policy, I'll be honest, I really wasn't thinking about it, because typically we don't oversee any kind of operational policy. We're just kind of told, okay, this is how it's going to work. And it really hasn't been until people started bringing this perspective. So I think I was the only council member that spoke out and said, hey guys, this is typically something that falls under the purview of our city manager, but I've been talking to her and the Parks and Recreation director about the concerns that you've raised. I think they're very aware that one thing I'd like to push for is see this be modified. I get that they want to try it. I get that, and I see the perspective that they're coming from in terms of some of the violent incidents that had happened in the past before Finley Park had reopened. But I also think it's a balance. And so one of the things that I've proposed is, why not have a clear bag policy for the days that you have the whole park rented out for a concert or for large events? But then, in between, Bodie goes to St. Peter's. I'd love for us to just walk over there. And so that's some of the conversations, but it happened very quickly. And I think that I'll just continue to be as transparent as I can, but it is I think I'm working as closely as I can with city administration to change it. Yeah.
Question in the chat for you. Stephen Aspel 8407 says, so happy Oddity is here tonight. What is something you've accomplished you don't feel has gotten enough notice from the voters, or something voters might not know?
That's a good question.
Mama? Mommy?
Yes.
Mommy?
I'm right here.
Mama?
I did have an emergency C-section, and a week later went back to vote on a budget because it was really important that I was there. It was, I believe, after Councilman Taylor had passed and there was a lot of changes. So I think that sometimes people don't see my more vulnerable side of the amount of sacrifices you make as a young mom, both in terms of being a wife, but also in terms of spending time with my little one. One thing that I feel like people may not know a lot about that I'm really, really proud of is, two things. Can I say two? Okay.
I'll allow it.
One is when I came into council, I was really confused as a consumer of the water and sewer system, where I would go to get my questions answered. And our departments, because the city is so big, worked in silos. They all had their own apps, their own websites, whatever. And it's not a very sexy thing, but I think it's a very practical thing that we were actually able to merge that all into an app. And not just an app that we contracted out and someone made. No, every single department had users that tested it, that worked through it so that it was actually user friendly. And the feedback that I've received on that app, and most people just saying, even if you can't solve my problem, at least I know where it is in the process, and that's really important. I think that that's something I'm really proud of that we were able to do, because that drastically changes how people perceive their community service or customer service, and also allows us to be a little bit more transparent. So that's one thing. And then I think the other thing would probably be so we obviously have had an Indian American governor in the past, but the ways in which that Asian American and Pacific Islander groups were finally recognized because I was able to use my platform to help raise awareness. And now we actually have Tour of Tea and all of these like very community driven initiatives to help bring light to the vibrant Asian American community here. It is now the norm for Governor McMaster to proclaim AAPI month. And I like to think that me being very vocal about the fact that, you know, we're 5% of South Carolina's population, oftentimes we're not really leveraged in get out to vote plans or anything like that. It is really cool to see that now there are kind of structures being built to help bring to light the immigrant community here. And I think that's, as an elected official, sometimes you have to just kind of step aside and let people use your platform for good.
Mama,
Yes.
Mama.
Yeah.
Speaking of like the immigrant community, I wrote a question down for you.
Okay.
My daddy is an immigrant from Mexico, and he's been here for like 30 years. And since all of like the ICE raids and everything, we've even been scared, him being here for so long. We've been scared for him and having those conversations like what you should just kind of have on you at all times. And so I guess my question to you is like, what do you think this city should and can do to help make their, not just residents, but also people who are just visiting feel safe here? Because I know that there's been people in our group who've gone out and done like observation, just trying to watch out for people, and that's great. But it would be, you know, just having a city that we know has our backs is really important. So what is your...
So I will say, first and foremost, I don't think we have been, as a council, very clear about that stance. I think, you know, while we have all tried to focus on, you know, the basics of the services that we provide, it's very hard to ignore the real impact that ICE can have to local municipalities. So I don't have a concrete answer in terms of like exactly what the plan would be, but I can tell you my sentiment and someone who, you know, wants people to know their rights. So I think the way that the city could kind of step in is educating people on their rights. I did have the opportunity to present the proclamation at the Hispanic Heritage Month in September, and I was a little nervous because it was a bunch of our different Hispanic and Latino communities coming together to celebrate. But I do think that the Sheriff's Department and CPD, like, we all take pride in making sure that we protect the people that live here. And it ended up being a beautiful celebration of all the different countries that are represented in the Columbia area. So I would want to do more of that, raise awareness about the great culture that's here. And then two, actually have something, I think, concrete that we can all agree and have consensus on, and how we would handle this in terms of what other cities are facing. But my goal is always to make everybody feel safe and protected, and most importantly, included. I think that sometimes Columbia can be very cliquey, and I want us to change that.
Would you support us having like an official like liaison to help people connect?
Yeah, I think that would be a great idea. So we have liaisons, like we have an LGBTQ liaison at CPD. I know we have one that does a lot of work around domestic violence and sexual assault. I think it would be great to look into having a potential liaison for our immigrant community. I know we have a ton in the Sheriff's Department. They all came and talked about what country they represented at the celebration. So that was really cool. Yes.
So I have a question about mental health and policing. So what has been done to like fight for funding for mental health professionals whenever some like police are going out and, you know, policing and such? So what has been done to do that?
So first I'll answer and say not enough has been done at the state and federal level to support the, I think, disproportionate burden that Columbia faces. And it's a good burden because we're a compassionate city that has services. A lot of other cities don't have services, but that does mean that we need our state and federal government to step in and provide support. We don't have a lot of sober houses. We don't have a lot of facilities to help people get the treatment they need. But we've tried to be innovative in terms of using some of our ARPA funding, which is now unfortunately, you know, running out. But we still have our Pathways initiative, which is our clinicians that are dispatched with Columbia Police Department in all 4 of the regions of the Columbia Police Department to de-escalate mental health crisis. But it still goes back to what I talked about earlier, housing and services. Many times they just don't know where to take someone that's clearly having a crisis, and the consequence of that crisis may be, you know, that they may be acting in a way that makes people unsafe, but you know, they don't want to take them to prison or jail. So I think that that's, you know, something that I would like to work on as well over the next 4 years is what does that look like? How can we convince the state that we need some kind of reinvestment in a facility or something where people can go? And I do want to add, though, that on October 13th, I serve on the Opioid Recovery Commission Board, and this is Purdue, Johnson & Johnson, all of them. They settled with different states on the opioid settlement, and so South Carolina has gotten $360 million that we give out over the next 10 years. We opened the Recovery Center because we learned that most people that are seeking services at Rapid Shelter, I think over 60% of them have a substance use disorder related to opioids. And the goal there is that they can be triaged out to services. But Jeremy, to your question, we need more services, right? Like we, you know, and a lot of like federal funding actually doesn't allow you to seek mental health services without being clean. But like practically speaking, they typically, like they can, not always, but they like typically co-occur, right? And so those are some structural barriers we need to change. Yes.
I think to the safety concerns like the immigrant community, I'd say piggybacking on that, talking about just like safety in general, there are a lot of different communities that have, I will say, interesting history with police departments, sheriff's departments, so it doesn't always feel safe to then work with those. And we've seen, especially in South Carolina, that there are other sheriff's departments that have said that they are working with ICE. So I think that's something that's like, the question I really have is, you mentioned the LGBTQ liaison, I am working with them. For a while there was a gap in that.
Yeah.
That did not actually exist. And in its current iteration, they're trying to figure out what that would look like. So I'm wondering again, in the position that City Council has, the scope that you all are able to work on, like, what is something tangible that you would like to see council help do that helps like bridge education so that those in these positions of like policing are actually knowledgeable to support these diverse communities instead of causing harm?
Yeah, so I think that there's probably groups out here that are already doing the work and perhaps just need a little bit of support to provide those trainings. So that's one kind of easy way for us to help convene. I hear you on the whole, sometimes being embedded in the police department has indirect consequences or can have kind of a impact that is negative. We did open the Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement, which is, I think, formerly known as the Office of Violence Prevention. I do think that that avenue could be an opportunity if we are able to find the right funding to support a liaison position, given that it's a clear connection to neighborhood safety. So another approach could be, it could be someone within a city department as opposed to a Columbia Police Department, and then they kind of can play that more neutral space. So those are two things I'm thinking of. But again, I do know that there are groups out there doing this work that we could also just be elevating. Okay, you already asked. Let me ask you. Okay. Yes.
Continuing with the immigrants, I can say there are small efforts being put in the way. Like a couple months ago, I went up and down Deckard Boulevard posting these flyers, know your rights when ICE comes. I've even done it in other places, especially where I live in Lexington County. And at the No Kings protest, I met someone who is doing similar actions up in the upstate. And if I want to ask a question, how much do you think Rich and Sheriff or Columbia PD will cooperate if ICE makes a request?
I wish I knew the answer, which is why I said in the beginning, like, I'd like to have a more concrete answer. And I'm going to get one from you all in terms of, because I know that there have been statements made by some of our state elected officials about their level of cooperation, but I'm not clear on where we are. Fortunately, a circumstance has not come up yet, but that doesn't mean it won't. So I will get you that answer, but I don't have it right now. Yes. Haley, yeah.
I guess just kind of on the same, like, in the same realm, you're talking about like budgeting and asking the state for different funds. And I know that like other cities and other like stuff that they've tried to incorporate like people who like work in like social services in those types of spaces, so that way, first off, the police can learn from them, and then also there is a softer space in that area. Have you guys considered like reallocating any sort of resources? What's like allowed from the city council's perspective?
Yeah, so I think I mentioned that we do fund those mental health clinicians for the police department to focus on de-escalation. And I do think that through some of our hospitality tax funding, as well as just some of our general funding, we've continued to support kind of like those social determinants of health that can directly influence some of the things that you're talking about. Don't color on that. There's always the opportunity to do more, but we're in this climate, I think you all that may interact with nonprofits or fundraise, where money from the federal government right now is really tight and uncertain, and that would have been typically the way that we're able to support some of that. Another thing I'd like to do at this kind of next term is, and I've talked about this before, so our federal funding for a lot of the homelessness and addiction-related work, it's supposed to span 13 counties, so the allocation for Columbia is technically from Rock Hill to Allendale. And we're supposed to serve people for 13 counties. And then when you look at the only area that truly has low barrier services, it's Columbia. So one of the things we had made a lot of progress with before the presidential transition with the HUD secretary was potentially changing that continuum and allowing Columbia to get a direct allocation as opposed to sharing it with 13. Now we've kind of had to start from scratch, but I do think that this HUD secretary is receptive to changing things. So that's something I'd like to see, because then we'd have more leeway as well to support some of those services. It's a funding issue. I'm gonna let him go and then you can go. Okay.
Can the city do anything to address like the cost of like childcare and like?
I'm so glad you asked.
Yes, 'cause I have a 2-year-old at home, so I would.
Yeah, so I've spent over $3,000 during this campaign outside of him going to school on childcare. So I feel you. So I'm actually in a training program right now for elected officials specifically from the Hunt Institute, and all they focus on is childcare and what elected officials can do to increase childcare. So I'm learning a lot about that landscape. I think there's 2 things that come to mind. One is us having a coordinated approach to push for universal childcare, the same way that we passed universal 4K. I think that there is an appetite for that. I also think that there are some challenges unique to South Carolina where, because our ABC quality system is not required, there are a lot of folks that will not participate, but then also not accept vouchers from some of the most vulnerable families that desperately need that childcare. So I think that there's an opportunity for us to potentially look into how we can encourage that, or, see the ways in which we can reduce that stigma. And then I would say the same way we're piloting the affordable housing program, which I think I've talked to some of you all about, where we're converting empty lots into 1,300 square feet brick homes for city employees to purchase. I also think that city government is a place to be an incubator and an innovator. We should try a model of having childcare for our employees, see what the cost is. And one thing I've learned, and I've only gone to one session, is how the margins are so incredibly tight because of DSS requirements of the number of adults that must be for children for it to be safe. So I'd love to use us for the 3,000 employees as a pilot to see what's possible, how much does it cost, what are some things other people can learn, and then hopefully incentivizes some of the other big industries here like Blue Cross, USC to do the same. So I 100%, and I'm glad you asked that question, I 100% believe that childcare over the next 6 to 9 months will be the top issue that a lot of local and state governments are dealing with. Let me go to him and then I'll go to you. Yes.
Okay, so public transit.
Yes.
So the Comet's not exactly the gold standard of the public transit system at this time. And I say that because as of recently, one of the ballot measures that was passed in Charlotte was that they have a sales tax now to fund towards expanding their light rail system and their commuter rail system and their bus rapid transit projects. And Mayor Dickens in Atlanta is doing the same thing with a $5 billion proposal to expand bus rapid transit and get MARTA on track. So as far as Columbia is concerned, what can the council do to get our public transit back on track and to provide alternatives to getting around the city? Because I still remember the bike sharing that they had years back, and I haven't really seen
Yeah, I've been asking about that too because I love that we have the bike lanes now, and apparently that, side note, that blue bike business just went out of business and didn't tell us and just took the bikes. So I know that we are in a final, yeah, like, I was like, what? So I know that we then had to go through another procurement process and then, but I do know that they're coming back. It's just gonna be another company, which will take a little bit of time to do. But to answer your question in a way that I'm allowed, because there are really exciting things brewing right now that we've only discussed in executive session. But I will say, my colleague, Will Brennan, he's on the comment board. And there have been a lot of conversations about how when you look at other cities, they have transit hubs. And I don't mean transit hubs like the ugly thing that's on Lucius Road. I mean like actual transit hubs with shelter, like a small little snack area. Like it looks like an old school train station. I think that's the direction that we'd like to move. And with the penny tax funding that's already been approved, there is some dollars to do that. And what that looks like, stay tuned. But there are many things in the works, and that's where I think the city can come and buy property or purchase the space in which that transit hub can be, because we've outgrown Sumter, and we also need to change our practice of everybody having to come downtown to go back out to the suburbs. And that's just like not a best practice, but our infrastructure currently doesn't allow it. So I think with this new transit system, we would actually be able to connect people from like Irmo to Lexington, as opposed to Irmo downtown back out to Lexington. So yes, a short answer is we do have penny tax funding that you all voted on that allows for some of those dollars. There still is concerns that the cost of maintaining the system may offset with the money that we have. So that's where the city and other municipalities should step in to support. And then there are some exciting things happening with Transit Center, and that's all I can say.
What was the last one?
There's an exciting thing, there's some exciting work that the Comet Board is doing with the city around a potential transit center.
Transit center.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So is there any, this just a complete shot in the dark. Is there any plans of the council to try to make our pockets less tight in the sense of any other forms of revenue that they can bring in that might not come directly from taxation, at least of personal tax, individual tax?
Well, I will have to toot my horn for a second, and even though some people were unhappy with this, I always vote based on what I hear the people say, and sometimes that means that I vote on my own. And I did not think it was the right time for us to raise parking rates. I was the only one that voted against that. And I also believe that given some of the previous egregious environmental violations of our stormwater system, it just didn't feel right to raise water rates as well. But my colleagues and I disagreed on that, but many of them respected why I made the decision that I did. I think we have to be very, careful about the current environment where people do feel the strain on their pockets. I don't want to see any increases in terms of our rates. And if they are, they need to be data driven and done incrementally, not this like huge thing. And I will say, like the parking system, some of those, I give the example, like you could park in a fire lane and you'd just be fined $50. For someone that's visiting from like a big city, that's nothing to have parking right in front of a building, right? Some of those things did need to change, but the can had just been kicked down the road for so long that the change felt very drastic. So I think that's another thing. I think we need to be incremental in some of those things. I also think it's important for you all to recognize and understand that the county and the school board also have a direct influence on our property taxes. And just as you all are engaged with city council, it's really important to be engaged with county council as well, because they often set those rates. There's somebody else here. Okay, last two, because I know this is only supposed to be like 10 minutes. Yeah, yes.
All right, question for you. South Carolina as a state is dead last in foster care stability. Does the city council have any plans to address the foster care crisis in Columbia?
I don't think that foster care directly in terms of the like units and stuff are things that we necessarily have the capacity to directly address. That being said, I come from Children's Trust, so my dissertation and all my work has been all on the prevention of child abuse and neglect and how childhood trauma can lead to chronic health conditions later in life. So I'm very familiar with the systems here, and I think the biggest thing is, with some of the restructuring and the lawsuit that DSS is finally getting out of, hopefully, we have a real opportunity to better, I think, collaborate and have a data sharing. So I'll give the example of the Recovery Center. One thing that we're working on that I think will be vital to its success is being able to merge into the EHR, or the electronic health records for MUSC and Prisma, so we can truly follow a client or patient or individual experiencing homelessness over time. And I think that could also happen in terms of better wraparound of services for kids experiencing either transitioning out of foster care or losing foster care. There just has to be better coordination, and I think that's where we can bring partners together to make that happen. Okay, last question.
When you're not busy running for election, what do you and your family like to do?
Oh, thank you. I really like to travel. That has not happened in a while. Also, I really enjoy with this little one. I know this sounds cliche, but I never wanted to be a mom. I didn't think I'd be a nurturing enough mom because I'm such a strong, independent woman. And then I had Bodhi, and it just changed my life. He brings joy to the most ordinary things. And I think that is really cool. Like things like Christmas. I love going and going all out for Christmas. And, we took him to New York, and just him seeing the lights and seeing just how the city is transformed is really, really cool. So any type of new adventure or experience as a family where we can learn and help him see the world, I really enjoy doing. I'm also very close with my family. My parents are up in the DC area, so I spend a lot of time with them. And then my sister's in Winston-Salem, which is a quick drive. And she just had a baby, so we spend a lot of time together. And then, of course, a glass of good wine. I am very proudly bougie about the wine I like. And so I can't wait to go back to Napa and go try some more wine places.
All right.
Thank you.
Do you want to say anything? Say thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay.
All right. Let's give another round of applause to Ivy. Good luck in your race.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me. I may step out because of him. Please forgive me, but let me know if you need anything.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks. Alrighty. So we're gonna get to business. So my report and welcome has already happened. So we're gonna get Reed up here to give his report. I know it's gonna be short and sweet, but we're gonna get Reed up here, and then we're gonna get Sophia, and then we'll move on.
So my report's going to be kind of short. Basically been helping Soda City Dems with the food drive that's coming up this weekend on Sunday between 1 and 4. Several different locations throughout the city, and I'll be at the Radius Church location in Lexington. So please stop out and help if you can. Other than that, I have been busy cross-coordinating and volunteering with Jessica's campaign and Ashley McCall. In those races, even though they did not win, unfortunately, they went really, really well. So I'm very proud. Thank you for everyone that came out and did so much for them as candidates. Everyone that door knocked, did the auto dialer calls. Thank you, because that's the work that gets the candidates where they need to be. Especially like what we're all doing now for Julie with like doing the postcards and stuff. This is not the pretty work that people normally don't see, but it's what gets butts in the seats. So thank you all for doing that, and votes. And thank you for encouraging people to get out and vote. Other than that, everyone just try to chill and like have good vibes, because like it's stressful out there, y'all. And The biggest thing is that I want people to get burned out because I worry about that a lot. A lot of us gets burned out because of the news and everything from Washington. But otherwise than that, if you need anything, you know where to find me. But yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Reed. And your work with the food drives doesn't go unchecked and unnoticed. Thank you for that. And Sophia. Let me get.
Oh, on camera?
Hold on, wait.
Wow.
You gotta go this way. Hold on. We're just being bougie.
Oh, yeah.
We'll wait to the podium.
Okay. My report will likewise be kind of short. I think everybody here kind of knows what we've been doing the past month. We were at the No Kings protest in October. We had a great sign-making party beforehand. And then we also had an incredibly successful phone bank for Jessica and Ashley. We also had a little get-together at the Hoot, which was fun. We're going to try and do more social events like that towards the end of the year, which is kind of where I'm going with this. Like Reed said, there's a food drive happening with Soda City Dems. I know Haley will touch on another food drive happening over in Irmo, so if you live closer to Irmo, that's an option. And Haley will also talk about our chili cook-off, which is coming up. We also had kind of talked about having a YDofCM specific Thanksgiving, but we have decided to kind of merge with RCDP at their executive committee meeting, which is going to be the 19th. Yeah. Wednesday the 19th from 6
to 8?
6 to 8.
I'll expound this in mind.
Yes, and Austin will go over it more. But we're going to do that. Austin will go over if you want to donate any kind of food or, get involved with the potluck aspect of that. We're also planning like a crochet hangout by our wonderful friend Christine, who's going to teach us how to crochet. That'll be November 23rd, location and time TBD, we'll get there. And then everybody put December 12th on your calendars because that will be our annual Christmas party.
December 12th.
Woo! And that'll be at Jeremy's house, and details will come out about that soon too. So I think that's pretty much it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sophia. You are awesome as usual. This train doesn't go stop or go without you. This train keeps rocking and rolling. But yes, so secretary report, Austin.
All right. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, everybody. Hello, everyone. I'm Austin Jackson, secretary for YDofCM. Oh God. But anyway, so my report is going to be uncharacteristically short this month. Like Sophia, we had been to I'd been to our Columbia's No Kings protest on October 18th, and our sign making party. It was wildly successful. It was probably the largest protest that Columbia had ever seen in its history, honestly. Was about 10 to 12,000. There was 17 at No Kings, and was also at a small social at the Hoot as well as I'm trying to think of the other event we had, but anyway, I was on that executive council call on the 23rd, on the 28th, that was valid. I do know that there had been a complaint against the state president for at least several months, and they
acted on that particular complaint. Also, I will say that on that next Wednesday at the Girl Scout Center, the Richland County Democratic Party will hold its executive committee meeting. That executive committee meeting will also be our Friendsgiving event, as well as our second meeting. So that meeting is a potluck. So I know some of you have already said in the chat that you're willing to make some stuff for that. If you can put that in writing somewhere, we're gonna have a sheet of paper somewhere. We're gonna write these things down, and we're gonna give the value so the county party knows what.
Actually, you know what? I trust.
Sorry to.
I trust the universe to make food happen. So we're gonna have some soups that are being prepared, so that we have at least soup. It's a simple meal, and then you bring what you want. We're also collecting canned goods, no glass, please, to continue our food drives.
Right. We're also going to ask that people bring in more canned food for a community food drive as well. Other than that, I am going to be attending the YDA National Committee meeting on December 7th personally. Likely with Justice. However, more on that later. But part of the reason why I'm going up is because apparently the Spartanburg County Young Democrats have bid for the spring meeting. Surprise. So if that happens, and they'll make that decision in Omaha. If that happens, that will basically be the 2026 YDSC convention, and whenever that is, that's when we would elect our new board for a full 2-year term. So that will be it. So more on that later. So.
All right, thank you, Austin. Treasurer's report, Tim.
Good stuff.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
How dare you? All right. Y'all forgive me, it's going to be a tiny bit longer, only because there's some good news and there's more saddening news.
Oh, Lord.
Calm down.
Is that ever good when money's...
So, first off, money's good. It's pretty much stabilized. It's been that way since the last meeting, so pretty much we've been doing good with that. So, that's good. I will be upfront that my goal may not reach the end of the year, but I will settle for us being above water. So I will take that. So in terms of the money, everything's good on that front. I have a few other things that we have done. If you have been aware, a certain individual announced that he is running for governor. And if you have noticed the WIS news report, you'll notice that there are 2 other individuals that are in that shot. So watch it again. It's like, where's Waldo? 1, 2. Just saying. I also attended a planning meeting with the planning commission of the city, discussing 15-minute theories and bringing out new bodegas inside neighborhoods. That way we don't have to drive so far. So that's a good economic booster, but we'll see what happens after runoffs and the elections come due and all that stuff. And anyone who went to Jessica Thomas's event during the election, I know it was a big deal, nationwide, because we definitely showed the president that we can kick ass, and we did. But as far as the city is concerned, even though they didn't do as well as we had hoped, they did put a dent in the mayor. And it was a good dent. 30% is pretty good. Okay, so nothing to be sad about. Just get back up, try again. So if you were out there, awesome. And we will definitely support Ms. Lumpkin as she achieves her goal. So everything you need, we got you. Now, and also, since I didn't see most of y'all, or none of y'all, Veterans Day went well too, even though it was a little different this year since there were no soldiers marching this year, because they are realistically marching on the president's orders, unfortunately. But saw another friend of ours, Mr. Johnson, again. So any support we can give him, let's just say we got that on lock. The final thing I'll say is that this is the saddening part, is that even though you got November 19th, which is the next meeting, and the executive committee, and the potluck, and the purge at this point, I will not be attending. And for two reasons. One, it's my birthday. So there's no way in hell I'm going to be working. I love you guys. No way in hell I'm going to work on my birthday. But I do have to do a security training with the FBI for my job. So I will be attending that. So I love you guys. I'm sorry I had to skip this one, but yeah, birthday comes first. That is my report.
All right.
This right here, this is perfection.
We're gonna go with Carrie. Then we're gonna go with advocacy. Then we're gonna go Haley, and then we're gonna go with my boy Wes. Yeah. We're going out west for his stuff.
I'm just waiting for my on-camera hug.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Could I just ask if I could have a few minutes?
Yes.
A minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever.
Yeah, at the end.
Whenever it
We'll
fits
do.
in.
We'll do it at the end. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Awesome. Get out of my screen. No, I'm just kidding. Nothing huge to share other than if you are willing and interested and able in helping out with comms and social media at all, I would love your help. It would be great. So thank you to the people like Sophia has been super helpful with helping to pick up, and Jeremy posting and on different platforms and stuff. So very appreciated. The only other change I have to announce is that going forward, the newsletter will be going out after each meeting, or after the first meeting of the month, instead of at the beginning of the month, just because then it'll have the most up-to-date information. So it'll go out a day or two after, kind of as a reminder of this is what we talked about, this is what happened. Here are dates to look forward to. So it won't go out the first of the month anymore, because it was just getting way too hard to, things were changing too much. So this way it'll have the most accurate information. So if you are interested in helping with comms at all, please let me know. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. And then Haley. Oh, come on. Gonna give you your on-screen hug.
Outfit is outfitting.
Get out of here. Okay, so I don't have very much. As Sophia and Reed both said, we have some community food drives coming up on Sunday. All of them are on Sunday, but they're in different parts of the Midlands. We have one here at Gadsden Street. We have one on Two Notch. We have one on Sunnyside Drive, and then we have one out in Lexington on Platte Springs Road. And then it looks like we have another one on Garner's Ferry Road. And then kind of apart from that, but still in the same community, we have Julie Zimmerman, who is running. She is doing her own food drive in Irmo because we didn't have a location out there. So in total, that is, I can't count right now. There are 7 food drives going on Sunday. And so if you can get out there, if you can help, if you can donate, please do. I think that they will also have QR codes and stuff to donate directly to the pantries they intend to take them food to. So it's going to be great. Other than that, I did want to tell everybody that we do have the chili cook-off on Friday. If you have not gotten your ticket, you should get it. It's a fundraiser for us, Richland County and Lexington County Democratic parties. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm making cornbread. Jeremy's making cornbread.
Not anymore.
Yes, you are.
Not anymore.
God. Okay, I'm making cornbread. Somebody else is gonna make cornbread, and it'll be a lot of fun. So come on out.
Question
Yeah.
regarding the drives. I mean, I know it's pretty much domestic stuff. Have there been anything regarding possibly sending packages down to Jamaica to help with the recovery after that hurricane?
I haven't seen any conversations. I haven't seen any conversations about that, but I'm sure that there's some local organizations if you wanted to link up with them and see. I don't think that there's like one actively happening right now, so I would definitely reach out and try and get one started. Cool.
Come on up, Wes.
Everybody move in.
Nah, Lord, we're gonna be here for another hour, y'all.
This is actually very quick. I did not feel very well. For the policy committee, not a ton to report. Our debate is still scheduled for the 22nd. We are finalizing a location, but be sure to be hyping it up. It will be streamed. However, there are certain individuals who may or may not be on camera during the debate. If you were concerned about being on camera, do not worry, you will not have to be. This is only an opt-in, not an opt-out. We will be streaming the edited VOD, not the full thing. So it will technically be live. Apologies in advance. Secondary, moving into December, we're actually going to begin our first community educational event. This one is going to be hosted by Zane on immigration in South Carolina and going through the history, the subcultures, and everything to help make us more aware, especially as we are moving into the training phase of our organization as we are helping promote our candidates that are going to be running next year. Obviously, once the runoff finishes on the 18th, we will have a little bit of downtime, which is beautiful because if you, like so many of us, have been giving everything you can during this election, you're probably a little bit tired. So a little bit of time to rest, relax, and prepare for 2026 is going to be wonderful. Also want to say a huge thank you to everyone that was able to help with any of our candidates and the work that they've done. We were actually, for Jessica Thomas and Ashley McCall, made 4,000 calls during our YDCM phone bank, which is more than we ever have before. So, thank you all very, very much. We greatly appreciate the work you put in. I know it's not easy. I know it's been hard. And spoiler alert, next year's going to be harder, but it's going to be worth it, and I'm very excited for everything that we do. Last thing, and this is the official YDofCM policy. In fact, you can check your calendar and see this is true. November 13th is our official West Russell Day. So I want to make sure we are all celebrating, telling West why we're thankful for him, as this is one of our biggest annual holidays. So thank you very much for letting me speak. Greatly appreciate everything. Thank you.
Wait, is that?
I'm checking the calendar right
next
now.
Friday?
It's actually interesting. It's actually tomorrow. So it's crazy.
Here's not next Friday.
Pretty confident, actually.
It's not on the
Oh,
calendar.
you should. I
disagree.
Is it next Friday? I'm kidding.
Put on the calendar.
he really is.
You know he will put it on the
He will put it on the calendar.
Has.
Oh, probably has. Probably has. So I don't know. Have you sent out the October minutes?
Actually, I said okay. So the minutes have been sent out to the officers and the chapter account. I move for adoption.
Okay, and in a second, the October minutes.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All those abstain? Okay, the ayes have it. So let's see, action items.
Just do as many postcards and canvassing for Julie as you can.
Do as much canvassing and postcards for Julie Lumpkin as you can.
Okay.
That's our action items.
I do want to add to this. Who is interested in actually going out and camping with me on like Friday or Saturday?
What time Saturday?
Open ended as long as it's not really late afternoon.
Well, so Emily Scott is coordinating the canvassers. We need more canvassers, so that would be tremendous, just to let you know that she's sort of the overseer of the whole activity. So just let her know,
And they get us involved, Emily.
Okay, okay, just so she'll know where you are, or where your priority location.
There will be canvassing Friday and Saturday.
That'd be great.
So,
I think they're doing canvassing every day until the
well, every day until the election. Everybody here is on the Signal chat, I'm guessing. Yes. So Signal.
I'll look into that one.
Yeah. Is that the thing that people accept you?
That's the notification I got.
Yes, right? Yes. So we have announcements, and then we will have Julie come up and speak for a little bit, and then we will adjourn. So we already talked about the chili cook-off. Just want to make that a reminder, 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Elm Abode is the location. Off Broad River Road.
No,
Yeah. November 19th meeting, we'll attend the executive committee meeting and the Friendsgiving, and that's where?
And that is at the Girl Scout Leadership Center.
Girl Scout Leadership Center on
William Street.
William Street.
Don't
Okay.
forget the Lexington County Executive Committee.
Oh yeah, Lexington Executive Committee meeting is on this coming Monday at 6:30 at the Lexington Main Library, and then the annual holiday party is December 12th at my house. Yes. Yes. Come on. And then we'll have Julie.
Yes. Hello, y'all. I'm here again. You know, when you see me on the podium, I'm here grifting for your support in something. So to be blunt, my school, we're doing our annual Winter Wishes fundraising. We are basically doing different community events and tackling it as a school. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head, but we have our goal to raise, I think, around 8,000 canned goods. We also want to raise, I think, around 800 toiletries, $1,400 for the Palmetto Lifeline here, and also the Sister Care Foundation to adopt a family. We're doing all of these. But one of the big ones I want to ask directly, since I can give you a number for, is we have our Giving Bowl event. It's happening, I don't want to give y'all the wrong date. I believe it's the 20th, but if you're interested in attending or just buying a ticket from me, please come talk to me after the meeting. I greatly appreciate it. It's only $5 buying a ticket. You don't even have to come. I'll eat the food. But still, they serve you.
Sorry, which date? So when is this?
I don't have the date. I'm saying it's the 20th, but I'll fall back up with you on that. But please, but yes, generally, please, if you're interested in helping supporting my school, help our community, I'd suggest it heavily. I appreciate it for your time. And secondly, I heard the state stuff that happened. All I gotta say is, whether or not, regardless of the fact, this is the time to get involved in the state organization. If you want to see us thrive, there's going to be appointments. There's going to be different processes that haven't been active previously that are going to be. So please, if you're interested, put your name in, your hat in the ring. You should hear something soon regarding that. So thank y'all, everybody.
Thank you. All right, Julie, let's go.
How's that work?
Beautiful.
Okay. Thank you all so much for letting me talk for a few minutes. Mostly, I just want to thank you for working on these postcards tonight, because they have to go out like imminently. So you all are making a big dent in the stack that we're working through. Thank you, Jeremy, for having me here and letting me say a few words. I just also want to give you a few updates. You may not know, or you may know, Ashley McCall endorsed me last week, right after. Okay. So right after Election Day, and we worked that out. It's posted on her Facebook page, and I think Instagram. I'm not sure where else. It's on my page, my Facebook page, but it's still taken a while to get out. And so I just wanted to assure you all, since you all were so supportive of her, that we're one now. We share the same, always have, shared the same democratic values, and actually have kind of similar professional backgrounds. I mean, I'm a public health professional, and we always work hand in hand with social workers and nurses and doctors. So I wanted to assure you all of that. And I also have the endorsement of the state newspaper, which came out about, I don't know, at least a month ago, but it was really a tremendous endorsement. And also South Carolina Equality. And I forwarded you the information that James Agents put out. So there's a link with that information from James Agents that has the canvassing sign up as well as the virtual phone bank sign up. But I will tell you now, Richland County and State Democratic Party are all in on this race because, as you all know, this is a really, really important election. It is symbolic for the city. It's more than that. It's really sort of shoring up political strength of the Democratic Party on city council, which we've had until fairly recently. So we're trying to re-solidify that and bring in more balance to the council. And that's one of the things that I've stressed, trying to show that we need not these kind of splintered off little groups of people. That's at least what I've observed. So I just thank you all for your support now. And we are doing everything to touch the voters. I won't go into all the detail, but Jay and Valerie can assure you we're doing everything we can. We're putting out on the table. We're, just so that I won't be saying, why didn't we do this on Tuesday night? Because this is everyone's election on Tuesday. It belongs to everybody. So thank you again, and I'll see you. I'll see you this weekend in fall. Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you, Julie, for that riveting. Yes. Pep talk.
With Wes, and we'll work on it.
One thing that, I don't know if I've heard it, but one of the reasons that we're able to do so much work now is because she is this lone Democrat.
Right. Yeah.
But this is the chance to flip another seat.
Of
in the
course.
state. And I
Yeah.
the mayor Lyman won by a Democrat, won by 30 votes. So turnout matters in this one.
Of course.
Push it across the country.
I was
Yeah.
told about a city council member who, a woman, Democrat, who was elected in Rock Hill, last week.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So if there's no other announcements, announce. You talk about the crochet event.
You probably get a good amount. I think I have that same sweater. Anyway, thank you so much for allowing me to speak. My name's Christine. If you see me at any of these meetings, you know I have to have something to do with my hands. I'm always crocheting. We're going to be holding a crochet event that'll be November the 23rd. Time and location TBD. I've been a little busy. We're still trying to get it figured out. What we're going to be making, and I will have the pattern available soon, is just a very simple scarf for Christmas time, red and white, little peppermint looking scarf. If you've never crocheted before, I hope to have you. If you have crocheted, great, you can come. Just bring whatever craft you're working on. We'd just love to see you there.
Yes, I have a lot of yarn that I had donated to me, and I'll be purchasing some myself. Just please let us know if you will be coming.
All right. Well, if there's no other announcements,
Just one short one real quick.
go ahead.
It's just they reopen boards and commissions for county and city.
Okay.
Due date is coming up on Friday, so if you live in the city or the county,
Right.
there are some spots available.
So Tim said that there's boards and commission applications that are available. Due date is Friday
5 o'clock.
at 5 o'clock. All right. No other question. Announcements. Okay.
Sound like
Yeah.
Because
Let's make two motions. I want to make a motion to make sure that his glorious day is not on the calendar.
no. All right. Bye. We're adjourned.